Here's the Swagger user interface for our API. That's api.marketdata.app. This is the authorize section. That's where you'd put in your API key if you were to sign up for an account. But today we're just going to try out the quotes endpoint without any key at all. We're going to use AAPL, which is a free symbol and does not require any account to use. You'll notice that when I got my stock quote, I skipped over all the optional parameters and I went directly to the required parameter that was in bold, which was the ticker. And so in this case, it was just Apple. And I tend to do that, and I recommend all of you do that as well when you're starting out with each endpoint. Just try using the required parameters only so that you can get an idea of how it works. Now, the one thing I am going to do for optional parameters is put a timestamp, just so that it's easier for us to read this as humans instead of using those Unix timestamps. Now, when you look at the output, you'll see that our timestamps are set in the time zone of the exchange. So look at how the offset is set to the New York time zone. That's 4 hours behind GMT, and that is because Apple trades in New York. Well, that's about it for the stock quote. So let's go ahead and try out the stock candles endpoint now, which is obviously for historical data for trades. So let's get some candles. I'm going to, again, just use the required parameters and skip all the optional ones. Let's use 5-minute candles. And so I'm just going to put in the number 5. And then we'll use the Apple symbol again so that there's no authentication needed. And now we'll add the timestamp for date format so that we get our human readable output again for the timestamps. Okay, so here's our data. Okay, way too much data. So we're gonna have to cut this down to size. Luckily, that's easy to do. Let's go ahead and head back to our optional parameters. And I'm gonna use the count back parameter. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put 10 in there, and that'll limit the output to just the 10 most recent candles. So let's execute that again. And now you can look at our timestamps here, 10:05, 10:10, 10:15. So there it's generating all the candles for us, and it's limited the output to just 10 candles. And you can see that the candle comes with the typical open, high, low, close, and volume data that you're used to seeing with candles. Now I'm going to show you something a little different that we offer, something that's called relative dates. And this works on all our different endpoints for any field that accepts a date input. Instead of just using the standard dates, you can hard code in a word like yesterday. So let's go ahead and add that in here, yesterday. Now we'll modify the resolution. Instead of 5-minute resolution, I'll just put this to hourly resolution, and we'll run that again. Okay, so now we have for yesterday, starting at 9:30, market open, we have all our hourly candles. And this will automatically update this API call. So today is the 29th, but if you ran this tomorrow, it would output data for the 29th instead of the 28th. Now I'm going to show you something called the human parameter. This may be a little strange for some of you, but you can see here we have a status indicator in our JSON output, and you can see our column names. Look how these change when we do the human parameter. The column names are all now human readable, and we've suppressed the status indicator. Now we'll combine the human option with format. So normally we use JSON, but we can use a CSV output as well. And this is, in fact, what we use to build our spreadsheet add-ons. So we're now going to output into spreadsheet format for the date format. And let's run the query again. So we should now have something that you could import directly into a spreadsheet with the candle data, and take a look at that date at the end. If you could take a close look, you'll see it's now formatted using the Excel Epoch format. So I invite you all to load up api.marketdata.app and give it a try. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe if you'd like to get additional tutorials and how-to videos from Market Data.